It's March Madness time. Well, have some Red Bull, some coffee.
It's a perfect way to show how crazy these past couple of months have been.
They are the big contenders for the tournament. Haven't lost a game yet. I like Arizona.
Arizona's a good team, a tall team, a fast team.
Incredibly stacked conference, the SEC.
Baylor won the game, and that's a 18-year promise, like you said. And Scott Drew, that's an incredible story for him. And
I just feel there's going to be a big upset, and
so yeah, I think it's an easy pick.
Hi, this is Andrew Utz, the winner of the Outsiders Opinions inaugural Bracket Challenge, and you're listening to Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? It's our Final Four video and championship video. If you're just watching to see who we have as our champion, understand that. If you're wondering how we arrived at that, there are different videos for you. They've all been posted today. Now, of course, the redemption team. As we've spent a lot of time on this, we have some crazy picks, and Austin requested. You want to talk about Xavier versus Duke?
Yeah, this is the first one I want to go through, and that's because I think Duke pretty handily wins this game. Xavier's a good team. That's why we have them going this far, and Kevin was the deciding vote to get them this far, but I don't think he'll be able to save them against Duke. Give me Duke.
For the record, if you didn't see the past video, I think Gonzaga would be in this game. And I think Gonzaga might just give them a run for their money. But I would still pick Duke in that sense. As much as I love Gonzaga, and as much as I'm happy with the people that us at least are giving Xavier the respect they deserve, because I've loved this team even when they were losing because I saw the potential. Duke, this is a special kind of year. And earlier, I told Austin that I'll get to it later, but I think Duke wins this, but on sheer talent, on sheer scheme, on sheer prowess of every aspect of the game. If you watch a Duke game, you could tell in every single game that they're the better team on every side of the ball. Heck, they even sit on the bench better. Like they like Duke is just so freaking good at everything, and so I think Duke wins this game.
Kevin?
Yeah, no, I think Duke does win. Even though part of my chaos wants Xavier to make the championship, but realistically, Duke wins. And yeah, I think we'll have to see on the Cooper Flag health. But yeah, y'all talk about this team, and it's really interesting just given that Coach K's retirement and his successor has built a really strong Duke team.
Yeah, let's move on to the more interesting Final Four matchup.
Yeah, we have Texas Tech versus Auburn. Auburn has that experience. They're older than the OKC Thunder by the average age. Texas Tech, though, often has some love for the Red Raiders.
I'm not gonna act like this is. I'm going Auburn here. I'm going Texas Tech. I have to, but Auburn's an amazing team. But we've seen Auburn against elite opponents struggle at times, even if the games are close. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games, and obviously, if they'd gone on this run to the tournament, they had won 4 games to get here. But I think that Tech, 100%, when both teams are 100%, is the better team, and that may sound crazy. There was a stat that Jake mentioned before we recorded that the team that spent the most time at the number 1 usually does not win the tournament. And while Auburn has shown to be the best team in the country multiple times this season, I don't think the best team in the country right now. And I think that'll be shown here. One stat that I wanted to bring up in the Texas Tech video to try to sway you guys one way or the other, but I think I'm going to have to use it here. Texas Tech, the last time they were in the Final Four, Auburn was. And one of those teams made it to the final and one didn't, and that was Tech. I think Tech moves on. Jake, I'd love to hear your thoughts, though, about the Raiders.
Here are 2 teams that know how to play the sport of basketball. One coach has been here a while. He's seen this before. One coach is the new blood. One team is very, very old. One team is oldish. Like you mentioned, Auburn has spent the most time as the number 1 seed. I've never seen, in their dominant stretch, a number 1 seed that is more dominant in a regular season than Auburn in my lifetime since I've been watching college basketball. There may have been some, but when I was watching Auburn play their best basketball, they were toying with the number, what were they, 14 Mississippi State, like playing, throwing up oops, behind the back stuff, and winning by 20, 30. Like it looked like it was the easiest thing in the world for them to clobber top 25 teams. Texas Tech didn't have that kind of a season. Texas Tech had to fight hard for their season. They were not ranked very highly to begin the season. They weren't even ranked in the top 25 to start the season, if I'm not mistaken.
You're not.
Texas Tech earned their way to this 3 seed. Not to say Auburn didn't. Auburn was not the number 1 overall seed to start the season, that's for sure. So this is one of the toughest games for me to pick. When I look at these teams, and I look at the history, and I look at the ways in which they've played this season, I can't help but go with the Red Raiders. There is something about that team, and there's this rule or something where you're like not supposed to pick a coach that has who's like 5 years new to the team or whatever. But I think that's flawed because all the teams that win championships or whatever have been legendary coaches, like Coach K and Roy Williams and all these like legendary coaches that actually are have
Jay
been
Wright.
there for a long. Jay Wright and Scott Drew, team coaches that have been there a while and done the thing before. So that stat's a little skewed because these are like the best coaches ever, Patino even, but it's not impossible. We saw it with Calipari, and so I'm not saying Texas Tech's going to win the championship, but Auburn has, at the wrong time, made me question them.
That's true. I mean, I watched their game against Arkansas, and they struggled. They should not have won that game. Arkansas threw the game away. They should have beat Auburn at Auburn. If both teams are 100%, all guys who should be playing are playing, give me Tech.
Going into the tournament, I need to be fully confident in where you are right now. It was just like that last year when you and I had on the conversation on this video that UConn was on paper the best team in the country. We didn't end up picking them, but we knew that they were there and we knew that they were playing right, and they ended up winning. It was 2 years ago. You knew that San Diego State would make the championship, and I knew UConn would win it. Right now, I'm not confident in Auburn. I'm not. There's something. Miles Kelly didn't shoot very well the last game. There's something about that team that just seems like they're not clicking at the right time. They're still finding ways to win because they're a good team, but they haven't won enough. And they've made me question them. And Texas Tech has not. And so I'm going to roll with the Red Raiders.
All right. I like it. And Texas Tech is a really good basketball school, but there are also problematic coaches from there. You have Bob Knight, while he was incredible, did have some issues, of course, Chris Beard as well. And then Mark Adams resigned in 2023, leading to Grant McCasland taking over. But they know how to find the right coaches to build teams. So, yeah, I'm in favor of Texas Tech advancing to the final. Now we have Texas Tech versus Duke in the championship game.
I could start here. I think these may be the two best teams in the country. I don't think we put them here on accident. Um, I think this is one heck of a matchup. You have an experienced senior led Texas Tech, an inexperienced freshman led Duke team. And we have not seen a freshman led team win a championship since Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, it's really him or the Kentucky team in 11,
The Kentucky
12.
team.
Yeah, with AD.
It's tough to win when you don't have experience. But I cannot let my eyes deceive me when I say that Duke is the best team in the country. And I think Duke wins the national championship this year.
I want so badly to go against Duke in this game. But we've had this conversation before in a previous video, and if you have, you want to get the full version, please go check one of our previous March Madness videos. It's not one of these 5, but one that we did earlier in the year. And I mentioned that a big reason why I didn't like Brandon Miller and the reason why I took San Diego State over a freshman-led that team is because offense doesn't always show up for freshmen. But defense, Cooper Flag defense will show up. I'm a little bit worried that Cooper Flag may only score 10 points in this national championship game, but he could have 5-6 stocks. He could have a good bit of rebounds and make huge passes and huge plays. I'm going to go Duke to win this game. I think Duke's the best team in the country. When I think about it in my head, I think Duke's the best team in the country, and this would be very reminiscent of the Virginia Tech game that happened in 2019. That's exactly how this is playing out in my mind. And I think it goes the same way. And I want to pick Tech here. I do. Believe me. If there was any other team here, I probably would pick Tech. I think these are the two best teams in the country. But both teams 100%. Flag, his ankle isn't bothering him. Texas Tech, all their guys are 100% healthy. I think Duke wins in a nail biter, and I think they're your national champions.
Yeah, for the record, I do agree about Duke as well. We'll have to see. You mentioned the freshman, but it would be definitely exciting. So now we have Duke winning the championship. Now there's the tiebreaker. What is the score prediction?
The winner will score 74 points, and the loser will score 69.
Nice.
I'm fine with that.
I
think it's going to be close no matter what. I could not see Tech getting blown out in any game during this season. But I'm just thinking, like, I think Cooper Flag is the best defender in the country. Like, we're talking about all positions. And who better to guard JT Toppin than Cooper Flag? Like, that matchup would feed families, one. And two, I think he could do it. And that's the problem is I think he could do it. I think if we could quickly go over, like, National Player of the Year, I do think that would be Cooper Flag.
Yeah, and as for the final score, I think it's going to be 72-69 with 10 seconds left. Texas Tech's going to miss a three. They're going to rebound it, and they're going to get 2 free throws, and that's why it's going to be 74-69.
Yeah,
it's going to be a close game.
I like that.
It's totally reasonable.
That works for me. So that concludes. I'm going to click Finish Bracket, as you will see it on the screen there. The bracket name I will edit to the Perfect Bracket because this is the perfect bracket. That's been our quest. Now that is that. Make sure you compete against it. Here's our group for the we have some members joining already, but that concludes our perfect bracket. We will keep you updated. Jake, it's been an honor doing this with you. Austin, I always see you, but let's just do some final thoughts.
It's going to be a great tournament. We're almost hitting the 12th hour as we're recording this. It's a stressful bracket this year, and I truly felt like we picked based more on what we didn't overthink it. We didn't overthink it. There's sometimes you want to go against a team, but you know they're the better team, and that's kind of how it ended up. Jake, how did you feel about it?
I came into this incredibly lacking in confidence, um, because it's the toughest thing to predict in the entire world. Um, I believe in my ability to predict and to understand the game. Um, Last year, I did something different, didn't go very well. So now we're going back. We're going back to the simple way to view things, and the way that I previously watched the game. I didn't overthink it, like you said, but this is going to be a phenomenal tournament because there's so many good teams, and they didn't make it easy to pick. Like we mentioned, that West region isn't really annoying because there's phenomenal teams in that region that could make Final Fours that won't. Um, and so this is going to be a great year. Um, and I'm just really, really excited for all the energy and the stories and the Cinderellas and the runs and it's the most magical sporting event in the world. That and the World Cup. I mean, you see seniors who are never going to touch the floor again, uh, pouring their heart out, diving for balls, dropping 30-foot threes like they do it on a daily basis. It's the most special time of the year. It's the most special basketball you'll ever watch. And so whether I win or lose, whether I'm right or wrong, it's always special. March is always special.
Christmas in March.
Hmm.
It's Christmas in March. It's my favorite time of the sports year. I think everyone knows that. I think that's partially why we make it such a big spectacle on this channel. And I'm excited. No matter what, like Jake said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. As long as Tech doesn't lose in the first round, I won't go mentally insane. Uh, I feel good about our bracket, and I mean, Kevin, again, you made some big choices in this bracket. I know you're not the main contributor, but I mean, you do impact how the bracket ends up shaping out, and I appreciate your input.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all's input, and yeah, y'all have more history with March, but I really love what we do on this channel. I was excited, even though it is late, and I'm waiting to go in my bed, but uh, I've really enjoyed it, and I'm excited. I want us to win. I love the stakes we have, the prizes. Love that we got the name, the Redemption Team, finally, as we figured this out. But yeah, I'm excited. I feel good about our bracket. Really hope Texas Tech, Clemson doesn't lose first round. Same thing with Gonzaga and like Duke even as well. So we'll see. I'm just scared of what will happen, but also excited to see what will happen. We will keep you updated through all that. And yeah, like I said, I'm ready to go into my bed. But this is a fantastic recording. Make sure you follow all this. We did this to help you digest this, so we're excited. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.